Welcome to the host with the most, Toddcast. And now, direct from the Razzle Dazzle Studios, here's the tan, tattooed connoisseur of conversation, Todd Newton.
This episode of the Toddcast is somewhat travel-related. Maria Todd. Somewhat. By the way, welcome to the Toddcast. Please rate, review, and subscribe. You can connect with us, contact us at toddnewtononline.com. We're looking at another trip to Asia here, and I was working on the hotels last night, and I found this one. I think I'm going to go ahead and book it. Beautiful view, a private dipping pool in our room. You know, like a 2-3 foot dipper, you know.
Yeah, just enough for you to get wet.
Yeah. And it's $70 a night. $70. It's like a suite.
Wow.
They had rooms, by the way, for like $29 a night. But I thought, you know, for $70, might as well go all out, you know?
Yeah, splurge.
But I came across this article that reveals how American tourists are spotted abroad, how easy we are to pick out when we're traveling to a foreign country. And man, I didn't realize how much we stood out when we traveled to other countries. But this is kind of embarrassing. You want to hear some of the ways that Americans stand out abroad?
Okay, go.
Okay. Number one, you can always pick out an American because he'll be the one wearing a baseball cap.
That seems true.
In most countries, you know, men don't wear baseball caps unless they're baseball players, you know, and in a lot of cultures, wearing a hat, even outdoors, like in an outdoor shopping area, forget inside at restaurants and stuff, is seen as disrespectful. But Americans don't care. For some reason, I'm not a baseball hat guy myself. You know, unless I'm on the team, I ain't wearing a hat. It ruins my hair. My head's too big. I'm not doing it. But usually, 9 times out of 10, if you see somebody overseas wearing a baseball cap, he's an American. Another way you
my
can.
brother.
Oh, does your brother wear baseball caps?
Yeah, all the time. All the time.
But it's, you know, it's what Americans do. And we just take that stuff over there. Another thing we do is we wear shorts. In a lot of countries, this is a cultural no-no unless, and it says right here, this is all, by the way, off of Expedia.com put this out. Unless you're a, quote, little boy or you're on your way to the beach, men should not wear shorts. Huh.
My brother can't go overseas.
Yeah, these are two things. What about this one? Having a confused look on one's face when you're trying to convert metrics to miles, you know, kilometers. Well,
that could be anybody,
I
maybe.
guess. Yeah,
sorta.
but it is confusing over there. That's another one. Thank goodness for all the apps we have, you know. Here's another one. Asking for ice in your soft drink. This is an American thing. Oh, yeah. You know, usually.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Yeah, you go to Italy, you ask for a Diet Coke. They give you a cold can of Diet Coke. You don't need ice for that. And one more, trying to tip. In most European countries, servers are paid more than they are here, so it's not necessary, or is it expected? Tipping.
This episode of the podcast is brought to you by the Tattooed Traveler YouTube channel. Join award-winning TV host and travel expert Todd Newton as he takes you coast to coast and around the globe to destinations like Paris, Rome, Bangkok, Hollywood, Mexico, New York, and so many more. Experience all the world has to offer by visiting thetattooedtraveler.com or subscribe on YouTube at The Tattooed Traveler.
Let's get back to the talk that will keep you talking. This is the host with the most, Toddcast, with Todd Newton.
I so wish that this guy that I'm about to tell you about, Maria, I don't know if I sent you this article. I wish this guy lived in my building. Oh, man. First of all, thank you to, is it Deanna or Dina who emailed this to us. You can shoot us an email, too, over on our website, toddnewtonmorningshow.com. She sent this article about this guy who lives in a high-rise apartment building over in just outside of London. And this building, Maria, has one of those underground parking garage, 3 or 4 levels, you know, where all the tenants park. so they don't have to worry about street parking or, the public parking garage. And he left a parking diagram on a woman's car, one of his neighbors. And he left it there because this woman always takes up 2 parking spaces when she parks.
Lordy.
Yeah. So he gives her this note, and it's on Reddit. That's where this article came from. The note says, "Dear neighbor, I give you a 2 out of 10 for effort." And then first of all, you got to be careful, man, because if you're leaving a note on somebody's car, it's because you're parked close. They're going to know which car is yours. And, people retaliate. People do things when they don't think anybody's looking. And how are you going to prove it? But this woman does not park correctly. She did it enough to set him off. And he drew a diagram of how to do a 3-point turn to safely and properly get into this parking space. What would you do if somebody left a snarky, how people, if they're trying to relay something to you and they're like, excuse me, I know you probably didn't see me standing here, but I have been in line for 10 minutes and you just, it's kind of passive aggressive and snarky.
Yep.
You know what the message is. How would you react if you found a note like that on your car?
It would probably ruin my day for one thing. But I'm thinking I would be ready for that person the next day if they ever came and parked by me again. Like if we parked in the same parking garage and they parked next to me all the time. Oh, they would get a note the next day.
Yeah.
And probably a prop.
And it's a prop. It's a prop from one of your dogs, right? The kind of props your dogs leave in the backyard. With these parking garages, it's only, I know you and Al live in a house, but with the garages down here, it's like you eventually will see everyone. Eventually you'll see who drives the white SUV and who drives the gray BMW and who, you see the cars for weeks, sometimes months, and then eventually you see someone getting in that car again, and you just kind of put the person with the vehicle. She's going to see this guy. There's going to be an in-person meeting / confrontation. And I'm just curious how that will go down because a parking garage is not where you want to get in an argument with someone. Nothing.
Right.
I've seen enough Jason Statham movies to know nothing good happens in a parking garage. I don't know. I think there are certain things when you live around so many other people, there are certain things you kind of have to just let go, right?
Yeah, it's when you're neighbors because they're not going to move. Nobody's going to sell their $200,000 house and move because you mean mugged them.
I mean, I get it.
So you just don't do it.
I get it. You come home from a long day at work and you just want to park and go upstairs and, get something to eat or have a drink. And this lady's taking up multiple spots, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this was the right way to go about it. What do you think?
Thank you for keeping the art of conversation alive. For more Todd, visit ToddNewtonOnline.com. And don't forget to rate and review the show today. The Host with the Most Toddcast is produced by the Host with the Most, LLC. All rights reserved.